Hello everybody, Miss Debbie here, and I have another STEM lesson for you. What is something that we can feel but we can't see? Think about it. We can feel it but we can't see it. I'll give you a hint. It sounds like this. Whoosh, whoosh. Can you guess now? That's right. It's the wind. What is wind? Wind is basically moving air. We can't see the air all around us, but it's everywhere. We can breathe it in, and we can see things that air moves. Take a look outside. Look out your window or go outside and see if you can see the different things that air or wind, which is moving air, moves. Did you get a chance to go outside or look out the window? Did you see anything that the wind was moving? Miss Debbie peeked outside and I saw some leaves on the trees that were rustling in the wind. But there's many different things you can see. So if you didn't get a chance to check, make sure you check after this video. Now we're going to work on our experiment. And what we're going to do is gather some items from around your house that we're going to test to see if wind can move. Miss Debbie found a crumpled up piece of paper, crumpled up tin foil, a cotton ball, a pom-pom, a bouncy ball, and a leaf. You can use anything. Anything will work. Just make sure you have some items that are lighter and some items that are heavier. Now, before we start our experiment, we're going to need something to make wind. Miss Debbie has a fan here. You can also use a paper plate if you don't have a fan. And you can use it like a fan by moving air to make wind. You can also use a straw. By blowing your breath through the straw, you're making wind. Or you can simply just use your breath and blow as hard as you can. Okay, so we're going to get started. First, what we're going to do before we test our item is we're going to guess to see if we think the wind will move it. So Miss Debbie's going to first start off with her crumpled up piece of paper. And I'm going to guess as to whether or not I think my fan or wind will move the item. I'm going to say that it will because it feels pretty light. So I'm going to put it in front of my fan. It moved it a little bit. It didn't move it very far, but it did move it a little bit. So my second item I'm going to test is a piece of tissue. Now I'm going to guess that this is going to be moved by the wind because it's as light as the paper, if not a little bit lighter. So I guessed, and now I'm going to test. I'm going to put it in front of the fan. Ooh, that moved. It moved a little bit faster. It didn't go further, but it moved a little bit faster. So now it's your turn. Take some of your items and take some of your fans and check and see what the air moves and what the air does not move. Have fun and I'll be back. Okay, now that we're back, Miss Debbie's going to throw a little math fun into our STEM lesson. Now that we've tested to see which items wind moves, we are going to test to see how many breaths it will take for us to move certain items. So what you're going to do is you are going to make a starting line and a finish line. My starting line is going to be this book. You can use anything you'd like. You can use a piece of paper, you can use a toy, anything you'd like. And my finish line is going to be my tray. And I think I'm going to use a straw for a fan. If you don't have a straw, you can simply use your breath. And I'm going to check and see how many breaths it takes to move my cotton ball. I think it's going to take 5. Miss Debbie's going to guess. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'm going to test. Here we go. Wow! That went a lot farther than I thought it was going to going to. So that took one so far, and I just have a little bit more to go. So Miss Debbie's going to try one more. Woohoo! 2 breaths, and I hit my finish line. So you can have fun trying all different kinds of items and guessing how many breaths you think it's going to take, and then testing your guess to see if you're right. Have fun with that, and then when we're done, we're going to come back and do a simple craft. Okay, I'm back, and now it's craft time. Miss Debbie has 3 different ideas of different types of kites that you can make to use outside and test the wind. The first is a simple windsock. This is made out of a piece of construction paper, but you could use printer paper or any kind of paper that you have in the house. And I simply just folded it and rolled it and taped it on the edges. I added some stickers. I taped on a string. And I added some party streamers onto the end. Again, if you don't have party streamers, you can use tissue paper, toilet paper, yarn, string, anything that you have around the house that's light enough that you think the air could move. So we're going to test this one with our fan, and we can see how the wind is moving the tails of our windsock. If you don't have paper, and you might have a paper cup lying around the house, Miss Debbie got a paper cup, and I taped on some pieces of yarn. So you could try that in the wind as well. And then last but not least, I made a little, looks kind of like a jellyfish, out of half of a paper plate. And I taped on some party streamers. You could also use ribbon or pieces of tissue paper. And put that in front of our fan to see how the wind blows the streamers. So that's it, friends. That was our lesson today on air and wind. I hope you had fun. I don't have permission to read these books online, but I thought these were pretty fun books that you could check out on YouTube that could enhance your learning on wind and air. The first one is called The Wind Blew by Pat Hutchins. That's lots of fun. And the second one, it's a great book, and it has a few activities that you could do with your children. It's called I Face the Wind by Vicky Cobb, illustrated by Julia Gorton. So have fun testing and reading, and I'll see you again next week.